Have you ever stopped to watch a butterfly flutter by? Those wings, fragile, beautiful, like little pieces of stained glass catching the sunlight. They seem so innocent, don't they? Just tiny creatures dancing through the air, minding their own business. But what if I told you that some of these delicate beauties are masters of deception? That behind those pretty wings lies a world of trickery, survival, and jaw-dropping evolution? Welcome to the wild, wonderful world of butterfly mimicry, a story of disguise, danger, and the relentless fight to survive. Take a look at this. At first glance, you'd swear this is a wasp, ready to sting. But nope, it's a butterfly. A butterfly that's learned to play the ultimate game of dress-up to fool its predators. Today, we're diving deep into the art of butterfly mimicry. We'll uncover how these creatures pull off some of nature's greatest cons, why they do it, and what it tells us about the incredible world we live in. So grab a seat, maybe a snack, and let's get lost in this mind-blowing tale of survival. Butterflies. They're like the rock stars of the insect world. With their vibrant colors and graceful flight, they've been inspiring poets, artists, and dreamers for centuries. But there's so much more to them than meets the eye. Beneath those dazzling wings is a story of survival that's been millions of years in the making. And at the heart of that story is something called mimicry. Now, mimicry isn't just a butterfly thing. It's a strategy used all across nature. Think of it like nature's version of a costume party. Animals dress up, act, or even sound like something they're not to stay alive. For some, it's about blending into the background, like a chameleon disappearing into a tree. For others, it's about pretending to be something dangerous, something a predator wouldn't dare mess with. And butterflies? Oh, they've taken this art form to a whole new level. In this video, we're zooming in on butterfly mimicry, how these delicate creatures have mastered the art of deception to outsmart predators and thrive in a world that's full of danger. We'll explore the science behind their tricks, meet some of the sneakiest butterflies out there, and even uncover how they use things like scent and sound to pull off their cons. Plus, we'll take a peek at what scientists are learning about these incredible creatures and why it matters for their future and ours. Ready? Let's dive in. To understand butterfly mimicry, we've got to start with the big picture: evolution. You know, that slow, steady process where life tweaks and fine-tunes itself over millions of years to survive. Butterflies didn't just wake up one day and decide, hey, let's look like a wasp. No, this is the result of nature's ultimate game of trial and error, driven by something called natural selection. Here's how it works in a nutshell. Imagine a butterfly species living in a forest full of hungry birds. Some of these butterflies, by pure chance, have wing patterns that look a tiny bit like a poisonous insect, say a wasp. Birds learn pretty quickly that wasps aren't a tasty snack. They sting, they hurt, and they're just not worth the trouble. So those butterflies with the wasp-like wings? They're more likely to survive because the birds leave them alone. Over time, the butterflies with the best disguises pass on their genes, and their babies look even more like wasps. Rinse and repeat for thousands, even millions of years, and you've got a butterfly that could fool even the sharpest-eyed predator. This kind of deception is called Batesian mimicry, named after a guy named Henry Bates, a 19th century naturalist who figured this out while exploring the Amazon. In Batesian mimicry, a harmless species like our butterfly evolves to look like a dangerous or toxic one, called the model. The mimic gets all the benefits of looking scary without actually being dangerous. It's like showing up to a fight in a scary costume but knowing you don't have to throw a punch. But wait, there's another kind of mimicry called Müllerian mimicry. This one's a bit different. In Müllerian mimicry, both species are dangerous or unpleasant. Let's say you've got two different kinds of toxic butterflies. Over time, they start to look more and more alike, sharing the same warning signals, like bright red wings or bold stripes. Why? because it's easier for predators to learn one warning sign than two. It's like nature saying, hey, let's all agree on a universal "do not eat" logo. Both species benefit because predators steer clear after learning the lesson once. To really get how wild this is, let's meet some real-life examples. Take the viceroy butterfly. This little trickster looks almost identical to the monarch butterfly, which is famous for being toxic to predators. Monarchs eat milkweed as caterpillars, which makes them taste awful and even poisonous. The viceroy? It's not toxic, but it's evolved to look so much like the monarch that predators don't bother taking the risk. Same colors, same patterns, same stay-away vibe. That's Batesian mimicry in action. Or how about the Papilio dardanus, a swallowtail butterfly from Africa? This one's a real shapeshifter. The females can look like multiple different toxic species, depending on where they live. One might mimic a toxic butterfly with bright blue spots, while another looks like a completely different species with orange and black stripes. It's like having a whole wardrobe of disguises, each one tailored to fool the local predators. Mind blown. So, how do butterflies pull off these incredible disguises? It's not just about slapping on some bright colors and calling it a day. These guys are meticulous. Every detail of their mimicry is fine-tuned to perfection, from their wing patterns to their behavior. Let's break it down. First, the wings. Butterfly wings are covered in tiny scales. Think of them like nature's pixels. These scales reflect light in specific ways to create colors and patterns. In mimic butterflies, those patterns are designed to match their model almost exactly. Take the clearwing moth, for example. This sneaky little insect looks so much like a wasp that even humans do a double take. Its wings are transparent with black veins and yellow bands, just like a wasp's. It even holds its wings at the same angle a wasp does when it lands. That's next-level commitment to the role. Then there's behavior. Some mimic butterflies don't just look like their models, they act like them too. For instance, the Heliconius butterflies, which are toxic, have a slow, confident flight pattern. They're not in a hurry because they know predators won't mess with them. They're mimics? They've learned to fly the same way, all chill and unbothered, to sell the act. It's like they're saying, yeah, I'm dangerous, keep moving. And here's where it gets really wild. Some butterflies mimic creatures that aren't even other butterflies. Take the Creatonotos gangus moth. The males of this species can puff out their abdomen to look like a spider, complete with fake legs. Imagine a bird swooping in for a snack, only to see what looks like a creepy crawly spider ready to fight back. Nope, not today, bird. These adaptations don't just fool predators, they change the whole game of survival. Predators learn to associate certain colors, patterns, or behaviors with danger, so they avoid anything that looks remotely similar. This gives mimic butterflies a huge advantage. They get to live longer, reproduce, and pass on those sneaky genes to the next generation. It's a brilliant strategy, but it's not just about visuals. Oh no, butterflies have a few more tricks up their tiny sleeves. You might think mimicry is all about what you see, but butterflies are playing a multi-sensory game. Some of them use scent to back up their disguise. That's right, smell isn't just for flowers. Certain butterflies release chemical signals that mimic the scent of their toxic models. It's like spraying on some eau de danger to really sell the act. Take the Danaus crassipus, also known as the African monarch. This toxic butterfly gives off a specific chemical signature that predators associate with a bad meal. Its mimics, like certain species of Hypolemnas butterflies, have evolved to produce a similar scent. So even if a predator gets close enough to take a sniff, they're like, ugh, smells like trouble, I'm out. And then there's sound. Yeah, you heard that right. Some butterflies can make noises to scare off predators. The Hamadryas butterflies, for example, have wings that produce a clicking sound when they fly. It's not just random noise, it mimics the sounds made by certain toxic insects. Predators hear that click and think, oh, that's one of those guys. Hard pass. It's like the butterfly equivalent of rattling a saber. These extra layers of deception, sight, scent, sound, make butterfly mimicry one of the most sophisticated survival strategies in nature. It's like they've got a whole toolkit for fooling predators. And the more we learn about these tricks, the more we realize just how clever these tiny creatures are. So, what's next for butterfly mimicry? Scientists are just as fascinated by these creatures as we are, and they're using some pretty cool tools to unlock their secrets. Thanks to things like genetic sequencing, researchers can now dig into the DNA of mimic butterflies to figure out exactly how they've evolved these incredible disguises. They're finding the specific genes that control wing patterns, colors, and even behaviors. Then there's computational modeling. Scientists are using computers to simulate how mimicry evolves over time, testing different scenarios to see what works best. It's like playing a video game version of evolution, where they can fast forward millions of years to see how a butterfly's wings might change. These studies are helping us understand not just butterflies, but the bigger picture of how evolution works across all species. But it's not just about satisfying our curiosity. Butterfly mimicry research has real-world implications. Butterflies are super sensitive to changes in their environment. Things like climate change, deforestation, or pollution can hit them hard. By studying their adaptations, scientists can learn how to protect them and their habitats. Plus, understanding mimicry could inspire new technologies, like better camouflage for humans, or even ways to trick pests in agriculture. So, what can we do? First, let's appreciate these incredible creatures. Next time you see a butterfly, take a moment to wonder, is it just a pretty face, or is it a master of disguise? And if you want to help, support conservation efforts. Plant pollinator-friendly gardens, reduce pesticide use, and spread the word about how amazing these creatures are. Together, we can make sure butterflies and their mind-blowing mimicry stick around for generations to come. Butterflies aren't just beautiful, they're survivors, con artists, and evolutionary geniuses. Their story reminds us that nature is full of surprises, and there's always more to discover.